Another day, another haze and smoke update. Feels like all I do anymore. So I would say the smoke from the wildfires in Canada that we've been dealing with over the last 3 days is starting to alleviate, right? The air quality concerns are starting to go. We're still extremely hazy. And in fact, I have the fans in the barn running. We don't run the fans overnight in the barn ever, unless it's going to be some sort of weird extreme heat. So even if it's like 90 degrees during the day, we still turn the fans off at night because it cools down enough to be comfortable. So last night, of course, the fans weren't running. I got into the barn this morning, and between the drizzle that's happening now, the haze, and the smoke, the barn actually smelled a bit like a barn fire. Certainly, it's just an odor, but again, in order to keep that air circulating, keep things clear, and keep the animals, let them have an area that's sort of smoke-free, I've got the fans running. Now, it's raining, and it's supposed to rain most of today, which is unfortunate because I really had plans for today to get grooming done and to get some stalls cleaned, but doing it in the rain makes no sense. Have I done it in the rain before? Of course I have. But it sort of makes no sense because they spend all day in their stalls when it's raining, and they just make it dirtier. So yeah, it's great, it's clean that day, but then it needs to be done again faster. So the better option is just to let it sit one more day and do it tomorrow, which puts me in a crunch as always, but so be it. So yes, I'm standing out here in the rain, but it feels good actually. And I just thought I'd come out and give a quick update, right? So all the little birds are fine. They don't seem to be impacted at all by the air quality or the smoke. As you can see, they're not too bothered by this kind of rain. It's sort of a cool, normal rain. There's not thunderstorms. It's not pouring. It's just raining. And I'm going to have to go in soon, though, because I am getting quite wet. But in days like today, and I just thought I'd show, we put, and I know it's hard to see, but when it's going to be raining, we put their food in their coop. They can have their water out because, of course, a little fresh water on top of their water is no big deal. But they get their food in their coop as opposed to outside. And that throws them off just a bit. You can see they're kind of hanging around, looking around. They know where it is, obviously, since some of them have already found it. But it does change their day, and it gives them a little something to think about. Sorry, I'm just watching them drink and work the water, and it's just so cute. And then these two over here are working the high grass, which is just also super cute. Plenty of bugs and critters for them to catch and chase, and they're just having a blast doing it. So that's really the update from here. Oh, the rain has now decided to stop for a minute. Happy day. In other news, our little chicken in the tack room, sorry, distracted. So this is a rooster, this little gray one, and it's an angry rooster. That blade of grass he's mad at. He is yanking on that thing, jumping up to get it. There's clearly a critter there somewhere. Oh, look. And he ate the grass. Not sure that that's nutritious for them. They're not really grazers. But at any rate, chickens are pretty omnivorous. They'll pretty much eat anything you put out there, fruits, vegetables. So grass is fine. It's not going to hurt them in any way, shape, or form. They'll eat meat. They'll eat chicken bones. They'll eat all sorts of things that you wouldn't expect. They're like little velociraptors. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me that he decided to just eat that grass, but it's always a little odd. At any rate, so let me take you into the little chickens, or our little bird in the tack room. There's a little voodoo, but as we walk by, they're all eating breakfast at the moment. Again, not sure if you can hear the noise or not, but it's the barn fans. And on days like today, the barn stays closed because we are expecting thunderstorms. We are expecting heavy rain. So there's no reason to leave the barn doors open and let all that rain blow into the barn. The stall doors are open, of course, but not the barn doors. I don't have the dogs with me, so life is pretty comfortable at the moment. Everybody's a little calm. How you doing, girlfriend? So here's the deal with her. You know, she's okay. It's not much different than the last update. There hasn't been much improvement one way or the other, but there also hasn't been any decline. So she's eating, she's drinking, she's doing some movement, which is nice. So you can see she kind of left a little bare spot in where she was probably pushing around her legs. But what I do notice is she's still not walking right. She's still kind of, when she stands up, she falls over. It takes her some work to get her legs back into position. They are in position right now, but they won't stay that way. And if I were to get her up and try and get her to walk, she wouldn't really have her legs correct. She's had every supplement and every booster that we can give her. Whether there was a deficiency, vitamin, mineral, etc. She's got it all now. So now it's up to her. There's not much else I can do for her other than this. So the situation with her, again, is still sort of pretty guarded. This is not quality of life. Living alone in a brooder in the tack room is certainly not quality of life. But I'm not ready to give up on her yet, right? She's still showing that she's got a will to live. She's eating, she's drinking, she's just not utilizing her legs correctly. And she has to bring those back herself now. There's not much I can do for her. We do a little physical therapy. I take her out, we try and get her to walk, but she's not really walking well. Now you'll notice I haven't moved the food and water further apart yet. It's only been a few days since she's been in the bigger brooder, so I'm not ready for that yet. And here's, I think, what I've decided is our timeline with her. I have turkey eggs in the incubator. They've only been in the incubator 5 days on a 28-day hatch cycle. So that's, I still got 23 days before anything might hatch. And I don't expect a whole lot to hatch there. You can see how she's still wobbly and not quite where she needs to be. So almost a month, 3 weeks and a few days before anything might hatch. Once I have something hatch, I need this brooder. Now, of course, she is not in a position where she would hurt little ones, so I can add little ones to her. And I may actually do that, right? And see if, if she is still sort of in this in-between state, maybe if we have a few extra turkey poults, the movement, the activity, and because they're so little and they can't push her over, they can't hurt her, maybe that'll get her to exercise herself and motivate herself a little bit more. I mean, I would hope by that point she's better. But honestly, at that point, this will have been for her about 4 weeks in the tack room / brooder alone. And if we get to that point, we're probably going to have to make some decisions. So I think that's kind of my timeline, is give her the absolute best shot I can, because she is trying. You can see she just corrected her legs back under her. She's not sitting. She's sort of squatting. So there's a little bit of improvement. It's not happening fast, though. So I am setting my expectation that this is a long journey. But I'm also setting my expectation that at some point the journey can't continue, because obviously, she can't live the next 10 years like this. That's just not the way life should be for a chicken. But she's showing, see, now see, that leg is out of place and she lost her balance. But now she'll stabilize again and she'll get herself kind of back into position. And honestly, all of that movement is good for her, right? She's building muscle tone. She is correcting her legs, and they're not broken, by the way. They're not dislocated. There's nothing wrong there. So it's telling me that she's got the capability of standing normal. She's just not doing it right now. And I still think that's strength more than anything. So she's had everything. She's got the best shot she can. And we're going to continue to give her the best shot that we can, because she's so pretty. And she's really sweet, of course, because now she's like people oriented, because we're the only thing she's got anymore. But she needs to continue to improve, or this journey will have to come to an end. So we're certainly nowhere near that decision yet, but I just figured I'd give you the reality of what this is about, right? I mean, I hatched her. I take full responsibility for her. We're growing her out. She's going to get every chance that she has. But I also recognize that this, while acceptable right now, is not quality of life for a chicken. Period. End of story. That is not really an opinion. That's a fact, right? Living in a box in a tack room by yourself is not quality of life. And that is not what we'll do for her. So I'm going to end it, though, on a good note, saying, like, look, she is fighting. She's talking, she's moving, she's eating, she's drinking, she's pooping. She's doing all the chicken things. So we're going to hope that her strength continues to grow and that over time she continues to improve. That's the incubator egg turner letting me know it's turning its eggs. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's where we are at with her. And, you know, maybe we'll have some friends for her in a few weeks. And maybe in a few weeks, I won't even be having this conversation because she'll be back in the flock. Fingers crossed, that's the answer. So, all right, guys. Until next time, I do have work to do. Bye for now.